Hey, welcome to Think, React, Lead. This is Dom Faussette. I am with my lovely wife,
Sofia Faussette.
Yeah, Sofia Faussette. So we just wanted to try something new. We've done this impromptu in a car, right?
Trying to figure out lighting.
Trying to figure out lighting. We've done that, trying to figure out lighting. But you know what? After yesterday, at the speaking event we were at, and the support that I got from my wife and how she was able to connect with the audience, and a lot of messages that I received from the people that were there was just about the connection, that unexplainable connection that we have. So I wanted to talk about that with my wife. This is obviously not planned. She's actually, are you comfortable?
No.
Okay, she's very uncomfortable with this Facebook Live. Like, I had to beg her to do Facebook Live. She wanted to just do it on a video and record it so we can edit it, but I don't edit any of my stuff because I don't know how. So let's talk about, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, no, I don't know.
Okay, you want to talk about, so one of the conversations I had with some of the gents yesterday was my decision to not have sex prior to marriage. With you. Is that too deep?
No.
Okay, we can go away from that.
No.
Yeah, it's already out there, so I kind of got to go there, right?
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about happy couples, right? The purpose of integrity. Mm-hmm. What do you think it is that allows? Why don't you ask me a question first, and then I'll ask you a question.
Wait, are we going with the first question?
No, you just kind of just go. You don't have to plan it. Just throw something out there, because I'm all structured and.
It's okay. You can be.
All right, fair enough. So let's just go with what's integrity in a relationship? Is that too much?
No.
Come on.
No.
All right.
So I just got done working.
Yeah, she
a
works
long
long,
day,
a very long day.
So my brain is not firing on all cylinders right now. Integrity in a relationship is, I think that word encompasses a lot. So it encompasses trust and honesty, truthfulness. I know you say a lot. I say all the time, he lives a whole nother life when I'm sleeping, because he doesn't sleep. So there's sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and he's gone. He might be sleeping on the couch. He might be just out just because he doesn't sleep. So, but I don't know, I'm knocked out. So when I wake up in the morning and find breadcrumbs of cereal or just
motorcycle parts,
right,
workout clothes,
just stuff everywhere, and then I know he's been up all night. So, but just the fact that I know he's just up doing videos, working, or just trying to sleep, there's no question of anything else.
So when I come home from a run at 2 a.m. or my motorcycle ride at 3 a.m, so obviously you don't question me, and we don't, those conversations never come up, but the important thing is, what do you think it is that causes you not to question me?
Because from the beginning, you set that tone, if you will, of just being open and honest. So probably a week after
we met?
Yeah, meeting after our first official date.
Right.
He sat down, he literally spelled out his life from all the way from the beginning to where he is now. Just opened up to me after only knowing me for a week, just showing that honesty, and here's what I am, here's who I am. I want you to know exactly who I am up front, because I value you already too much to not be that up front with you. So
what do you think? You got a question for me?
No.
You have to. We're supposed to be like I'm Montel and you would be like a skinny Ricky Lake.
Okay.
For those of you that don't know who Ricky Lake is, never mind, doesn't matter. What question? What question do you? I'm gonna stop with the questions. Just throw something at me.
I'm thinking.
All right.
Yay.
All right.
What made you, before you met me, what made
Right.
you decide to make the change as a man to be prepared as the man when you met whoever it was you were going to meet?
All right. So before we met, I decided to treat. So probably two months prior to us meeting, I was done dating women. I was done dating, obviously the woman thing, but I was done dating from a standpoint of just doing what a lot of guys do, which they just kind of just hang out, hook up with a bunch of individuals, a bunch of women. I decided, you know what? I'm going to treat the next woman that I talk to The same way I expect a man to treat my daughter. And then lo and behold, I met my wife, and we did not. I said I'm not going to have sex prior to marriage, like that day going forward. So when I met my wife, Sofia, now that sounds weird. When I met you, like when I told you that like we're not going to have sex until we get married, like what was your thought?
My first thought was like, that's my line. You can't take my line. But I realized obviously it wasn't a line, and it was just like, wow. There wasn't really any words.
Right.
And I believed you when you said it. It wasn't just, okay, he's saying that because he wants to. It was I could feel it.
Okay. And so the purpose of me doing that, as hard as it was to prove to you that I'm more integral than any guy you've ever dated.
Right. And
setting the stage for our future. Nick said, "Don't take my line." Setting the stage for our future down the road, so you know that my actions are from the heart and
right.
my actions are integral.
But even, I mean, just even after a couple days or first date, even mentioning the M word, we won't have sex until we're married. Like,
married.
For guys to even say that word sometimes after a long time is a struggle. So not that I took it as we were going to get married, this guy's going to marry, but just it was a word that you were comfortable with. So I knew that we're not just going to date for 10 years and then figure it out. It was, okay, he's serious, and that's what I needed.
What do you think? So we both know women that settle, and I'm just going to focus on women for right now. We both know women that settle for a man. Why do you think? Have you ever experienced settling for a man? Not me.
Yes, but you don't recognize it as settling. So you don't recognize it as settling until you're out of that situation.
Okay.
Nobody, at least for me, I never blatantly said, "Well, I'm settling. I'm just gonna stay here."
Okay.
Once I was able to remove myself from the situation and look back, whoa, I was settling. Like, I need to level up.
What? So I remember a time like we were in the car. I was on a motorcycle, so we couldn't be in the car if I'm on a motorcycle. That's pretty skilled.
Correct.
So you're in the car, and I just threw my phone in your car,
Yeah.
and we were like together for like a week or two, and I just threw my phone in your car, and then we left. To me, that's
huge.
Right. So for you, that was huge. Why was that huge?
Because I'd never been with anybody who was comfortable even leaving their phone face up around.
Hey, Catherine.
me.
Hey, Nina. Sorry.
Don't wave like that.
That looks weird. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Nina. Is that better?
No.
Okay, whatever.
But to know that it wasn't even a thought. It wasn't like, ooh, should I leave it because I don't know what's going to be on there. It was just.
JJ asked, did she ride prior to meeting you or after? So that's a very interesting.
No, I didn't. Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Stop
No.
waving like that. Oh, it's so dumb. I'm a tough man.
I didn't ride, but I'd always talked about it. My mom could tell you. So I always talked about wanting. I think I always said I wanted a Ninja just because it was the only bike I ever saw. But my parents always talked me out of it, safety reasons. So I'm like, okay, fine. Didn't really know anybody who rode, so I just kind of let it go. Then I met you and you started talking Ducati. I was like, cool. I don't know what that is, but saw pictures of it. I was like, yeah, that's pretty. I'll take that. And so we went to the motorcycle shop and looked at them, and he said, that's the one I want. I said, I'll take one too.
So we got our motorcycle licenses 2 weeks after we started dating. Mm-hmm. We purchased motorcycles 3 or 4 weeks after dating. I said I wanted a Ducati. She said I want one too. I was actually going to get an 899. She wanted an 899. She's like, you can't get an 899 because it's like me.
I didn't say that. You said that.
Whatever. It sounds better if you say it. Let's see. So no, our Ducatis are our first bikes. We've never ridden before, but now it's just our thing. What was the hardest bridge to cross with marriage? Joining money, trust, time management. Joining money wasn't a big deal for me because I didn't have any. What?
Nothing.
So yeah, joining bank accounts was awesome.
Oh man.
So
for me, it was letting go. I was.
Like she never wanted me to open her doors. it's probably not a venting session, but like I'm a man and I open doors. She didn't want me to open her doors. I'll carry her purse. And there in the beginning it was like, I got it. I'm like, whoa, hold up, buddy. Like, no, like I got it. Like, don't do that. But it was getting comfortable with being with a man.
Right.
Because she ain't never been with no man before.
Gosh. But simple things, like I owned my own house, so I did my own yard work. And he would come over and what needs to be done, what yard work needs, and he'd come over and do my yard. I've never had that before, so it was hard for me to let go. So
letting go. I think a lot of couples deal with that, like men and women, just letting go of, I think, our individuality. Mm-hmm. That's not individuality. There we go. I'm not going to spell it. Our time management.
Well, okay, so him being
don't put all my business out there. Go ahead.
No, so you being military, and I'm not a late person. Don't give me that look. 'Cause I'm not. But I remember one of the first times we were meeting up to do something. I was at a family event, and my family is ginormous. So it takes 20 minutes just to say bye. So we had decided to meet at this certain time, and it's like 3 minutes after. And I get a message that says, what's your ETA on arrival? It's like, is that normal talk? Yes. Or, how far are you? Like, 7 minutes. Most people go 5 or 10. Not very many people go that exact. So it was getting used to
the exactness, the more dialed in.
Yes.
Great question, Nick. Kyle, love meeting both of you this weekend. Sorry I asked random questions. Nah, dude, it's all good. We love questions. We live for that. No, she did not ride prior to Dom. That was weird. Hi, Mom. Okay, here we go. What is one thing you love most about each other? From Kyle Beck.
He makes me laugh. So we met working together.
Yes, we did.
He dresses like he does in his suit and carries himself very well and smiles. And I called him Mr. USA because everybody knows him. And never really had a conversation with him. We went to dinner the first day that we ever talked. Happened to be his birthday. We just went out. His friends. It was nothing. Should have been jeans and a sweatshirt, I think. But he had me laughing to the point where I couldn't breathe. So it was unexpected, and it felt good to just let my hair down and laugh. And what was the first thing that you said that I was literally like on the floor?
I don't.
Oh, we were getting yogurt, and he's paying cash, and he's got some ones, like a lot of ones. So I looked at him like, where did those come from? And he said
something about a milkshake in the yard. And like for her, like I'm in cowboy boots, jeans, my veteran hat, like Ranger roll, like a dude. And then I said that she never saw me as comical because I was always serious because we were at work. So making her laugh, but like what connected us? Like for me, it was my birthday, literally like my birthday, February 3rd, and she asked, so what are you doing for your birthday? I was like, I'm going out by myself. Like, I like being by myself. And I wanted to get some seafood. And long story short, she ended up there. And we were just talking because I was trying to get her, like, she had 2 masters. Like, what are you doing next with your life? Where are you going?
You started coaching.
And yeah, I started coaching, basically. And the bill came. I went to the restroom. When I came back, the bill was paid. And like that, I never had anybody value me like that. And the bill was like $100-something. And just when I came out, like I had never really had anybody.
He didn't know he didn't know what to say. Even to this day, I don't think I've ever seen him that flustered.
Yeah, at that stage of my life, I hadn't really even valued myself. And, as a man, I had dated women where, you go out to eat and, like, they're always expecting you to pay. And I've always had standards, and I was just done dating. And to have somebody with no intentions just, like, love me, that was the first time I cried that evening, not with her around. But I cried that evening, just like, I couldn't, like, I didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't know how to receive that. And I think a lot of men deal with that. Like, we don't know how to receive the things that our women do for us. And unfortunately, it turns into the man being mean just because we grow up in this era of not being told I love you by her father, and just being tough, and especially in the environment I grew up in, it was, I don't know, like I have my mom and my dad, but just, I had gone through so much in life that like I wasn't connecting with people, and she didn't want anything from me, nothing at all. So that helped me out a lot, and that's kind of what brought us together. Janelle, as an independent woman, how did you let him take control?
I didn't.
When did I take
Right.
control? I don't.
No.
See, you guys see like this beast online. Like I'm not at home. Like I'm not that. Like I'm not. I'm not the ex-cop. I'm not the veteran.
What's great is we're kind of both like that at work. So
yeah.
But I come home and I don't have to be that. I let him be that because it's a relief for me. It feels good to let my hair down and not have to worry about taking out the trash and doing everything.
So let's go back to that.
He meets me in the garage. Like he
Yeah.
meets me in the garage. He takes my purse. He takes whatever's in my hands and brings it in for me.
So let's go back to like in the beginning. So Janelle asked a valid question. As an independent woman, how did you let him take control? So I never ever heard you reference yourself as an independent woman.
No.
There's no such thing as an independent person. Like
I don't think I ever really referenced myself. For me, I like to avoid what is very cliche or what a lot of people are doing. So it's put out there a lot. So there's not a lot of meaning to it. So I never reference myself as that. I've referenced myself as an alpha female or as a strong woman,
right.
but never really as an independent woman.
What was it that allowed you to allow me to open your doors for you everywhere we went? Like before, you used to open the doors like I got this, but now you walk to the door and you stop, and you don't touch the door until I open it for you. Mm-hmm. What was the transition?
Just you being persistent. You didn't. Yeah. You didn't let me stop you from doing it. Out of habit,
right.
I tried to, but you just kept. You were persistent until I finally learned it's not going to stop. So
right.
Just enjoy it. Just sit back and enjoy it.
It's a bad look, brothers. Let me explain something to you. If you're with your woman, if she's driving or not, and she opens her car door, that's a bad look for you. Like it's not a good representation of you as a man. Just throwing that out there. What do we have? Because she was always independent. I don't really. If you went on a double date, where would you want to go, and what would you want to do? A double date.
Ooh.
Well, the last time we went on a double date, we went out with Kyle and Christina, yeah. And we went bowling.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we're kind of like we don't.
We're not as cool as we might seem.
Yeah, we're not that cool. Like actually we did a double date at the lake with the Ducati riders. Lori and Ghost. Yeah. So we're kind of spur of the moment because our schedules are so like hectic. She works a lot, and I've had to learn. Like as her husband, I'm a planner. I would plan something, and then she would be stuck at work for another hour and a half. I didn't get mad. She works around a lot of guys. I don't care. I've never been jealous of what she's being around all those men. But let me explain to you how I'm not jealous. And I said this when I did my speak this weekend. When you show up to your wife's job, for whatever reason, you need to look like you own the place. Because let's call it what it is. Every man is trying to get with another woman. Every single man wants what you have if you have a woman. So there's going to be a man that's going to want to try to talk to her. And where I grew up, the mindset was, if I don't do it for her, somebody else will. Call that a right mentality, a hood mentality. Call it whatever you want. That's kind of how I used to think, but I like doing it for her. I don't do it for her so other people don't. I do it because like I worship the ground you walk on, because like you're my Spartan queen. So that's like why I do it.
Yeah. So working in a male-dominated industry, and I had a conversation about this with somebody this weekend, is there's always a balance between not being too nice to come off flirty, but not being too mean to be called the B word. And I think I've always found a good balance with that. I've just always, as a collegiate athlete, I've always been around more men than I have.
So she played college,
women,
university basketball, university softball.
But having that, I had that on my own, and then they met him, And it was, okay, it was just this immediate respect. There's people, so around my job, it's a lot of the girls that I work with, we need to find a dom. We need to find our dom, which is awesome to hear. And then a lot of the guys at my job, like, talk about him more than I talk about him in a good way.
Right. Another question, my man. Do you two have a designated time moment to realign your visions of your lives and relationship? No, we don't. So I was doing this, like I had my own vision before I met my wife. She's added to it. She's had her own vision prior to us meeting. Do we have, and we probably should have business meetings. We just don't. There's nothing stopping me from getting me to where I go. So I have a coach for that. I have two coaches that help me get to where I want to go. And she trusts me enough to just say, you know what, do your thing. Let me just see what it is that you do from a standpoint of coming to see me speak or understanding I have clients. So no, we don't have a designated time.
It's not a designated time. Most of our conversations just happen to be around
business, yeah.
In our days off, we'll go, like one of the things that we want to do is get a condo downtown, keep our house here, but have something downtown so when he speaks, or on a day that I just don't feel like driving as far from work.
Right.
We've got a place, but we didn't plan it. We just one day thought about it, talked about it. The next day, scheduled an appointment, went downtown, and saw a condo. So
I think we don't watch a lot of television. We're very business-minded. We don't argue. We don't have banter about stupid stuff that's not in direct correlation with where we want to go. We don't have a lot of time to spend together because we both work a lot. So when we are together, we talk direction. We talk, like, my life is coaching. My life is leadership speaking. So unfortunately, like, that's what comes up. And early on, she had to let me know, do not motivate, speak me, and don't coach me.
Yeah.
Did you not?
Yes.
Do I do that now?
No.
Nope. I'm a good
listener. Not unless I ask, which
right.
I haven't asked since I first started
right.
in the car business.
Yes, Amanda. Yeah, I told you she was the one. Done. I do know Amanda. We used to work together. JJ, what? What do we have? I don't know why I just said that. They know who they, that's what you need. So what, give me some questions. Give us some questions because we're pretty nerdy and we don't really, what are our struggles? Let's talk that.
Food.
Oh my gosh.
That's probably the one
largest
thing. And I think, yeah, it's probably just what do you want to eat, or even what's for dinner, or hey, there's chicken thawed out. Are you going to make it? Well, I'm busy in the office. I just come home and we'll eat cereal.
We do. It happens that way. We are not a fit couple. So what's your cheat meal? All of them.
He's got a major sweet tooth. Not chocolate.
Hey. That's too much business. Vulnerability is my thing, but that's too much. I do have a sweet tooth.
So I purposely can't buy stuff to keep in the house because he, again, at the middle of the night, it's gone. It's like vanished, and I don't know where it's gone. All
right, Dee Dee, we went to church together when I was a kid. How do you incorporate goals, aspirations when you have small children? Time is minimal and money is not always expandable. So we're expendable. So she has the education. She has 2 masters. In our household, we have 2 masters. I'll let you decide who has which one or both. So we're a little different when it comes to kids. So we have a split kind of family. My son, our daughter's son, my son's here Wednesdays and Thursdays every other weekend. I parent more of an 80s style parenting where I'm not going to give my son everything he wants, right?
Right.
We're a little rough, not rough. We're 80s on our kid. Like we don't give him everything he wants. We don't give him really much.
Yeah.
Like all our responsibility for our kids is to provide a roof and some food. If you want a fidget spinner, like bro, you got to earn that. Talk back. Oh, can't hit. Lie. Yeah. We can't do that. Go to prison. We put them in the corner. We count to 3. No, we don't. So our goals are for our children. So they may not get it now, but they'll get it down the road. Like, for example, at the end of the year, I love to hear my son say, Dad, when we go to St. Thomas, am I going to stay on the private beach? Like that's why we do what we do. To hear my son say that, or to hear my son walk in the room and
last week he walks in, he says, Mommy, Daddy said I can have some Burberry.
Like, I never said that. At 7, I was looking for the spam key that would get lost. But so we do things for our kid, but we preface it with, we don't have to do this for you. Let me explain that. Like, just shut your mouth. We do not have to do this. So our goals, it's not even here, Dee, it's not our goals, it's what we do. The difference between goals and aspiration and attainment is doing. If you let your kids get in the way, they're going to get in the way. If you come home and you want your kids to be down at 7 o'clock, put them down at 7 o'clock. Like, it's your house.
So let me speak from a different perspective, because I've been a parent for all of a year. So my kids are inherited. So I've had to, with the smaller one, I've had to build that trust. I can't come out the gate and yell at him like he does, or he'll never. Okay. You don't really though. He'll never trust me, and I want him to love me. I mean, I didn't birth him, so he doesn't have that connection with me naturally. He does now because we spend so much time together. And then for our 17-year-old, I'm way too late in the game to be that real parent figure, if you will. But I'm also young enough where I can be that example for her,
right? And
be that, kind of take advantage of the fact that I'm not the parent, and be the friend sometimes. So there's some benefits.
So, bro, Kyle, I don't work out as much as I might look in my suit, bro. Let me just throw that out there. Like, I don't.
Oh, Oreos?
Yeah, definitely Oreos, right? Get it. So I'm a peanut butter and jelly guy. Like, I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You go ahead, put it out there. Go ahead. I know exactly what you're gonna say. Put it out there.
So he actually did a video a while ago.
That's not what you're gonna put out there.
I was, okay. Because I brought it to you about. He has a peanut butter and jelly. There was a point where he had a peanut butter and jelly bowl, not a sandwich, almost every night.
Like a bowl of peanut butter and bowl of jelly.
Right, and he just eats it like it's ice cream. And for me, I've never seen that before, so I just asked, are you actually hungry? Is this just a habit thing? What's going on? And he used to only be able to eat peanut butter and syrup when he was younger, so for him, it's kind of a...
Like, jelly is a treat.
Right.
But so let me explain. I had a poor mentality, right? Growing up, peanut butter and syrup sandwiches is what I ate. Jelly, we didn't get a lot of because it was more expensive. So recognizing that the only reason why I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, like as a grown man, was because it reminded me of wealth, of success. Just, I don't know, it's just weird. That's just what it did. But I stopped eating them. When taking care of your kids is your first priority. Most people might not agree with me. Taking care of your kids, like, is not a first priority. Like, your kids are your kids from birth to 18 and then they're gone. Right? How many of us have seen women that attach themselves to their kids and their husband leaves and their kids leave and now they're stuck with nothing? Yeah. Like I've learned, like, your kids are gonna hurt you. Like, my kids hurt my feelings, and I attach myself to my wife because we're here to stay forever. My children are a priority. I do a lot of things I do for them, for their future, but they're not my first priority. Like, a lot of times as adults, we get lost in making our kids a priority, and we never make ourselves a priority. And we end up, the depression, just all the things that go along with that, like not valuing yourself. Like, what value are we as parents to our kids if we put them first and not, it's okay, hey, sit down. I'm going to go outside and I'm going to relax. I'm going to go to the ice cream truck and y'all not getting nothing. I want an ice cream. I want a lollipop. I want a Jolly Rancher. Like, no, you can't have any. You didn't earn it. Right? Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I don't roll out the red carpet for our kids. Typo. Are you more comfortable in jeans or the suit?
Cowboy boots and jeans.
Cowboy boots and jeans? I'm very comfortable in cowboy boots and jeans. So why do I wear a suit all the time? It's a I'll be honest, man. I'm in Arizona. Like, I'm a brown dude in Arizona. I live in North Peoria. I speak, I do leadership, I do corporate stuff. There's a certain, I have to deal with people's ignorance when it comes to what I look like and my skin color. So in a suit, nobody questions a man in a suit. I don't care what issues you have with somebody's race. When you're in a suit, nobody questions you. You can go anywhere. Go ahead.
The suit got me.
The suit did get her. And I like being the brightest bulb in the bag or the sharpest tackle in the box. That's kind of like, I don't know, where I grew up. Like, successful people wore suits, and that's kind of what I did. Now they're not.
Uniform.
It's a uniform. But cowboy boots and jeans is kind of like my comfort thing. Like, that's my go-to. Like, my dad wears cowboy boots, so does Chuck Norris. Totally agree. Let me clarify. My little are under 7. So, we have a 7-year-old. He ain't my priority. Like, he's just not. Kids are just weird. Like, my 7-year-old, he thinks like the world evolves around him. Like, so what are some of the things he says to you?
Oh gosh, he's just funny.
He's hilarious.
He's hilarious. About the world revolving around him.
Yeah, he acts entitled, and I don't know where he gets that from.
I mean, the thing that sticks out to me the most is I think one morning I told him to get dressed, and he got sad, and I asked him what's wrong, and he said I hurt his feelings because I told him to get dressed, and my response was, I don't care about your feelings.
Right.
Not when I'm talking to you, not when I'm telling you to get dressed.
7-year-old.
The look on his face was utter confusion. Like, you don't care about my feelings? So
not at this moment.
No.
Because it's not going to kill you. Like, you're good. And you know what? She's the stepmom, right? I'm the dad, but we don't argue in front of him.
Right.
If I disagree with the way that she's disciplined him, like, not like old school, like put the smack down, but just says something, I don't say anything. Like, I don't baby my son. I'm probably a little tougher than a lot of parents.
But we talk about it later, and I think I'm very proactive at what
you are proactive.
Could I have done better? What could I have said better? Because I'm still learning.
Oh, and he hurt her feelings.
Oh man.
Whew. What did he say to you?
I asked him to do something homework related, and he said something like, "Well, you're not my real mommy anyway. You're just my fake mommy."
Right, and like I said, kids will hurt you. I'm not. No, so it's totally really clear. It doesn't matter the age. You gotta put yourself first, right? And then by putting yourself first, like, your kids benefit from that. And it just are there couples you look up to? What do you respect about their marriage?
Is there more? It says Seymour.
Oh, who's Seymour? How do you resolve conflicts? And is it vital to come? What just happened? Okay, so let's do this. Are there couples we look up to? My mom and dad. So I probably shouldn't have said that. That's you. It would be better for kids.
No, I mean, I do. His parents have been amazing since the first day I met him. They welcomed me with open arms before we got married, and we didn't live together. So
right.
But I owned a house, so I sold my house 3 months before we got married, and his mom just said, please. She asked me. She almost begged me to come live with her and live with them, and I almost didn't move out.
Right. No, you didn't. And my dad said, hey, you messed this up. I'm disowning you. Like, that was my dad's words. Do we look up to other couples? I don't, outside of my parents. Like, I don't know. No, we don't look up to other couples. Like, we don't even think about that. No.
I mean, we appreciate other couples who do things together, not necessarily riding motorcycles together, but have just some passion that they share. We appreciate that.
Right. But look up to them? Nah.
Worst habit.
Go
ahead, I'll let you answer first. What's my worst habit?
What is your worst habit? Like, sometimes I'm being careful. Sometimes she comes home and forgets. Like, I don't work for you. Like, I don't know who you're talking to. That's what I say in my head. I don't say that out loud. Worst habit? Yeah, she just, she sometimes thinks that she's still at work. I don't know why, because this is not the job. Like, this is at home. But she thinks that she's still at work. And she talks to me in a way that's like, should I get down and do 20? Like what are we doing here? What's my worst habit?
You pick your fingers.
I do pick my fingers. I do pick my fingers. What other worst habit?
You leave your shoes and clothes wherever they come off.
Well, that's because I'm busy. Like, I'm trying to do a video and I'm trying to do stuff in the office, so I don't pick up after myself.
No. Just leave it at that.
But at the end of the day, like if that's
he does better.
Yes, I close the cabinets.
Open.
I close the cabinets, right?
When he cooks, I go into the kitchen and every cabinet, every bowl.
Well, because I gotta think. I'm like an artist when I cook.
Yes.
Like I gotta have stuff out,
You're
and then I have ADD, so I forget like what I need. Like I gotta see it. Let's do. My kids are babies, so I have to clothe, bathe, feed, etc. So yes, those are things that you have to do, Dee Dee. You do have to do those things. But if you're tired, right, and your kids are babies, it's okay to like expedite these things so that they get in bed so you can get it. You can relax, right? It's okay to streamline things. Like if you say, you know what, we had a big meal on Monday. Today we're just gonna have. I mean, how many times have we had breakfast? All right, Michael, waffles and eggs. Like it's late. Let's get it in. It's okay. Like don't feel like you're a bad parent. And I'm not saying you do, Dee Dee, but I'm just in the event you do, don't. Like I've known you since you were itty bitty. So you're grown now, and you were raised right. So go with your gut. What do we have? The suit represents the brand. I get it. Yes, it does. Oldest 7, youngest 1, 5 kids. Oh, no, don't do that. All right, youngest 1 and 5 kids. Yeah, so that's rough. Like it's a lot. That's you have a lot to do. So I respect you for that. Like totally, right? Doing your thing, and she's educated. She's doing her thing. She's enjoying life. And so there's a stage that a lot of the portion of your day is for the children. Especially if they're 1 year of age, because they can't do for themselves. Thank you for sharing. Kyle, suitor jeans, as soon as you start speaking, it doesn't matter what you wear. So Kyle, check this out. The only reason why I get invited to speak places, not the only, a lot of the reason why I get invited to speak places is because I come in looking like the man of the hour. I'm a good representation of people that ask me to come speak. But I personally feel just like you said, once I start speaking, but I have to be given the opportunity to speak in order to do that. In addition, if I'm speaking, like I'm not just representing me, like and it's not my brand. I'm representing my household. Like I'm representing the Faussette family. So I have 2 brothers that are attorneys. I have a sister that's in commercial mortgage. I have a father who's an entrepreneur, mother who's an entrepreneur. So I'm not just representing myself, I'm representing the Faussette name. I'm representing my wife. So when I go out in a suit, it establishes credibility psychologically to the people that I'm talking to. Got it, not a problem. So let's talk about, I'm glad I found you this weekend. Me too. Thanks, Kyle. What is your biggest want? He might be referencing my biggest want with you. Let's just assume our biggest wants for each other. What's your biggest want from me?
I wish I could take away some of the stress. I wish I could. I work a lot, so I don't help him a lot with the business. Partly because what he does, I've never met anybody that can do it, and everything's up here. It's not like he keeps it anywhere physically that I can help. It's all up here, so I don't help with the business very much, and I work a lot. So if there was anything that I want, it would be the want to help you with the business, take anything I could off your plate so you could focus on doing you and just being on stage and speaking.
Nice. So what is my want of you? I think, and that's a great question. I think my want from my wife is to recognize how awesome she is. She's so humble, and to take a man like me, right? I'm an angry dude. I mean, I deal with a lot of stuff up here, and I'm wired differently. Like I'm not easy to manage, right? I'm very strong. I'm not set in my ways. That's good because I forget about everything, so I can't be set in that. But I'm not like when I go to bed and I wake up with it, or I'm in the middle of a night terror. And I'm yelling or I'm fighting in my sleep, and the fact that she comforts me, like I don't think she realizes like how many wives would just leave and go sleep on the sofa, or how many wives would say I'm crazy, or how many wives would question why I leave the house and go ride my motorcycle at 2 in the morning, or go downhill longboarding on my skateboards at 1 in the morning, or why I'm in the office like doing stuff online at 3 in the morning. Like she never questions any of that, and like I don't think she realizes how much of a value add she is to me, and how rare she is. So to the question, my want for my beautiful Sofia is to just acknowledge, like, I'm gonna say her worth. Not that she doesn't value herself. Like, I mean, if you're on Instagram, follow her at Sofia Faussette. Like, she values herself, but values her connection to me. Like, I think she thinks it's normal. For us, it's normal, but it's not normal in relationships. You're welcome, Dee Dee. We want to answer some more questions. If you guys have questions, let me know. But in the meantime, I want to. So let's talk about this. So I have PTSD. I just got diagnosed with Tourette's. What's it like being married to somebody? Whoa, breathe. I'm not about to snap. Sheesh, got to put all my business out there.
You're putting your business.
Well, your facial expressions.
Because I don't know how to answer that question.
Okay.
But I'll let you finish it first.
All right, fair enough. What's it like living with that? Living with a man that deals with those things, like my emotional roller, like ups and downs.
It's not easy. It's as simple as this sounds. I don't deal with it. I just love you. Like, I don't know what else to do. I can't. Granted, I have a degree in psychology, but I'm not a doctor, so I don't know how to fix it. All I know how to do is be here for you, and all I know how to do is love you, and so that's what I do. And the more you struggle, the harder I love you.
Which isn't easy. Like I know I'm not an easy man to deal with, but it's I stress. You know, we all get caught up online and how people make things look crazy easy, but that's not. It's not easy for us. I think the question was how do we resolve conflict? We don't, and I don't know if we answered it, but we don't have. I have so much speaking into existence, had so much conflict inside that I fight enough with myself where I don't even have to, like, we don't argue because it's just, the demons like here are like they're hard. Like I struggle with that. So it's, go ahead.
No, I was really trying to think of what conflict we had or have had, and I think one of the biggest conflicts we've had wasn't necessarily caused by us; it was external. So, my stuff going on with my family, that happened with my family.
Yes.
And
okay.
You know, even after a year or whatever, that conflict, even though we would talk about it and maybe not always agree, you were able to take yourself out of that and just support me, and despite everything, just put a smile on your face and love the people that might not have initially loved you.
And that's hard. Our families have recently joined, and right. it's good. But there was a point that there's a portion of the family that didn't like me for whatever reason, and that's fine. But it wasn't for me to like rear my ugly head and talk bad to my wife or talk bad about any of her family members, and even behind closed doors, I never have. What I think benefits me is I am a coach, and I study personalities, and I study the brain, I study neurology, and these are things that I look into, and being a hurt person, like I used to hurt people, like I used to be hurt and hurt people, and if she could love me like the way that I was and the way I am and how I'm growing, like if the only concern or issue that we have because of her coming into my life is that there's some people that might not like me, like it'll all work out because we're not going anywhere. And like I think for us, it actually made us stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we just like connected, like I'm not gonna say like glue, but like glue. We just bonded and we just had
a lot
fun.
of positive came out of it.
Yeah.
It brought me closer to you. It brought me closer to my family who welcomed me and us and him with open arms. So a lot of positive came out of it.
Yeah, totally.
You know, the first year was a struggle with some of it, but
yeah,
we're getting there.
Yeah, we are. I mean, what marriage, what relationship doesn't struggle, right? What's your favorite outdoor activity besides riding? Do we have
together? Probably working out.
She likes doing legs. I hate doing so.
This is our leg workout. So normally I write the leg workouts, and I don't know, 3 exercises in, I catch him between supersets doing biceps. Like that. When did that become part of leg day? He can't.
When you lift with your legs.
He can't just do legs.
Because she just goes all like Olympian on legs, and I'm just like, what time? I'm not trying to be sore the next day. I gotta walk and speak. It takes a strong woman. Yes, Sabrina, our sister, she is super, super strong. And you know what? There's a lot of men that can't handle a strong woman. Like, yeah, Dallas, be quiet. Dallas is our dog. But let's talk about that. A strong woman. What you came from? You've always been strong. Mm-hmm. You came from a relationship where a person couldn't handle that.
Right.
And then you got into a relationship where I only handled that.
Right.
How was that?
Different. It helped me to let my guard down sooner because I didn't feel like I had to hold back. I didn't feel like I had to hold back who I was or what I was doing, or even though I don't necessarily boast about my accomplishments. You know, I didn't have to shy away from it for fear that I would make a man feel less than.
A man, not a boy. A man. I'm glad I got a voice like that. Outdoor activity. What else do we do outdoors?
I like to play softball, but I never have time to anymore. I can't remember the last time I played softball.
Yeah, you still have time.
And he came to watch me once, but it was before he had nose surgery. So
yeah, I had allergies, and then I had what's called a rhinoplasty. Now I don't have allergies, so my whole life allergies. Now I don't have them, so it's awesome.
Outdoor activities.
You know what? We like vacation. Lake. The boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just started boating. We just started wake surfing, so that's been our thing when we get a chance to get down to the marina. Yeah, that's legit. That's like the next thing we've done and we've enjoyed.
But I mean, when we're on vacation, we don't like to sit in the hotel. I mean, even when we had the over the water bungalow, we went hiking. We swam with sharks.
Yeah,
not the one that you attracted.
Right.
So we like to stay busy when we're not like drop dead exhausted, which happens. But we just like to stay busy.
Let's see. What do we got here? We got Brandon on. What's up, Brandon? Let's see here. So for those of you, let me preface it this way: we're a very happy couple. But I think it stemmed from not getting what we wanted in previous relationships, being in our 30s and knowing what we want in this relationship. I ask, like, how can we be a value add to you? Like, what are some things that if you're single, that you struggle with as it relates to maybe looking to date somebody? And like I said earlier, we didn't have sex before marriage, and I wholeheartly believe that the integrity in our relationship now, the love that she has for me right now, the value that she brings to my life with no questions asked, the level of respect and communication that we have with no questions asked, I firmly feel that stemmed from me treating her differently than any other man has ever treated her in her entire life.
I would agree.
So I'm going to scroll this up. I'm sure there's an app for that, but it's extremely important. I think men need to learn how to love their love themselves first, right? But not more importantly, but as importantly, love their spouse. this is not a loaded question. Do I kiss you every morning?
Yes.
Okay. Do I, these are going to sound like loaded questions, but this is kind of what I do. Do you feel that I treat you like a piece of meat and just be like straight up?
No.
You like?
No. Not
Okay.
at all.
Okay. Not just like, so not just like a penis holder. Well, like men do that. Like they treat women that way. Like that's okay. A little raw, whatever. All right, just it's not rude. It's normal. I can say it again. All right.
No, to answer your question, no.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
All right. So what?
I'm turning red.
You are turning red. It's not because of the light. Sorry, man. I should have prefaced it with something. Respect. Like what? Like how do you feel I respect you? Or how do you feel that maybe that would benefit them, as opposed to talking about me and you? What do you think couples could benefit from as it relates to things you've been through and where we're at in our relationship?
Don't take for granted the mornings and telling your spouse, have a great day, give them a kiss before you leave, welcome them home, not, come home, drop your stuff, and I'm guilty of this. Come and drop my stuff, and it's I've got to do dinner or get the little guy in the shower. Just you go right into mom mode. And 9.5 times out of 10, he stops me, literally takes out of my hands whatever's in my hands, makes me face him, and says, "Hey babe, how was your day?" Like, so just being intentional.
Like I don't like being ignored, right? Look at it this way. Like for those of you that are pet owners, when you walk in the house, your dog runs up to you, and you rub the dog behind his ears. You don't ignore the dog. I'm not saying I run up to you, but like as a man, like I need to be validated. Like I need her to recognize that like I'm here. And she does that.
I think most women miss that, myself included. It was I had to become aware of that. You assume men are the strong ones. They don't need the validation. They don't need to be recognized. And the "Hey, I'm home," that doesn't do it. They want you to validate them. They want you to acknowledge them. They want you to come in and say hi, give them a kiss. But just being intentional with your actions. I mentioned it a couple times, but opening the door.
Yeah.
Holding my purse. Just he doesn't. I don't want to say he doesn't let me do anything because that sounds silly, but like when he's around, I don't have to exude a lot of energy. he just.
I'm your private security.
Kind of, yes. Literally.
Old habits die hard. We've been on for a while, so I just wanted to take the time, and we've never really done this before. And after speaking this weekend, I had some insight, and I felt that what I get from her, the support that she gives me, I thought that was the norm, but it's not. The support that I give her as my wife, I thought was the norm, but it's not. And it's sad that in our society that men struggle, and at first when we met, she wasn't making more money than me. Then she started making more money than me, and well, now I'm W-2'd. I have a business, but that's never bothered me. Just because we're in it together, and just like being in the military, like we're a unit, like we're a team. Like I'm kicking the door, she's right behind me. It's a metaphor now. Yeah, well, she's naturally tough, and there's times that like as a man, like I need to cry, and I'll lay on her breast and cry, and like that is comforting to me. I don't cry all day, like 7 days a week. Let me just put that out there. It's just once in a blue moon, I may be going through some things, right? But I'm comfortable in doing that without her judging me. Right? And just like Brandon said, right? He says it's all about respect for each other, and you guys are growing together, so keep it up. Brandon, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And yes, Sabrina, affirmation, man, goes a long way. I think we just get caught up in saying, I love you, but, and I've been guilty of this in prior relationships, just saying I love you out of habit. Like when I text her, my wife, and call her my love, how do I spell out love?
L-O-V-E.
But what do you notice about it?
Capital L.
Capital L, right? To me, that it's the finite things. Like I don't say hello love, just L-O-V-E. It's hello capital L-O-V-E, and I do that every single time.
Or, I love you too. I don't think I've ever said that.
No, you don't say I love you too.
Right.
You just say I love you. You say I love you back. You don't say I love you too.
Because that's more of a, I'm just responding to you.
Right. I love this because all relationships go through same struggles and growth. Comforting to hear real life struggles and triumphs. What are other ways wives can validate, support their husbands on a daily basis?
Just thanking them for what they do. So a lot of times, because the man is supposed to be the head of the household, it's the expectation to just thank you. You know, it doesn't have to be Father's Day or their birthday, to just get them something. I don't mean a tie or a normal Father's Day. Just if they like skateboarding, get them a skateboard. If they get something for them that's outside of their role as even dad or husband, something that they enjoy doing, even if it's just on their own. Give your man a massage.
Yeah.
They like it too.
Man, do we? We love massages. You love massages, don't you?
Yes.
You know what, Didi? You asked a great question. It says, what are the ways, and I want you guys to listen to this. This is what are other ways wives can validate, support their husbands on a daily basis? As a man, as a husband, we need you to support you first. We need you to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say you're a beautiful woman, right? Because if you're strong for you, all we can do is add to that. But like she's not my better half. I'm not her better half. Like we were whole before we met, but collectively, like we're just beasts. Like it just works. But value you, Didi, and any other woman out there. Like just as a man that's married with a wife, it's more important for us to value you, and then the little bit of extra stuff that you have, if you can just toss some our way and say you love us and validate us when we walk in, because no man likes to deal with an insecure woman, right? It's a turnoff. Like if you're insecure with who you are as a person, just like no woman wants to be with an insecure man. That's just dumb. Like that's not even a good look for you as a man, right? So, but as a woman, and I'm not speaking for all the men, but I'm speaking from my life experiences and conversations I've had with friends. It's if your woman, like as a woman, if you're not like, you can't own you, and you become insecure, we can't fix that. Like I can't fix an insecurity. Like it's self-validation. It's appreciation of self, and understand that you're a woman, and like there's so much you can do in this world. There's so much you bring to this world. There's so much you do for society. So I just no, you're totally not monopolizing the questions. I'm glad you're asking questions, because you're asking questions that need to be answered. And we're no gurus on relationships. We just don't fret the small stuff. And I'm not going to overtalk you, but it's just I just felt it was important for us to come on and do this, because when I spoke the other day at this meltdown in the desert, to have all those men, like these are burly men, beards, tats, muscles, like just shake my hand, hug me, and cry, and the majority of the conversation, the majority of the problems was marriage. And it just, like, it hurt my heart. Like, I'm glad I was able to connect with them and make them feel comfortable to come talk to me. But when I asked them what they were going to do about it, they were kind of yoke up and just not say anything. And I'm like, dude, like, you got to soften up, bro. Like, to dudes, husbands, like, as it relates to your wife, go back to day one. Like day one, if you met her online, if you met her at the bar, if you met her in the park, if you macked her at work, if you wherever you met her, go back to day one and treat her like that. I'm talking about, like, remember when we used to be on the phone till like 2 a.m,
yeah,
fall asleep on the phone,
yes,
and I go to work the next day tired, and we see each other, right?
Yes.
Those text messages, the morning, where I have, honestly, where I think I have dropped the ball. I used to write you poems all the time.
Yeah. Every morning I'd wake up to a poem.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done it. Like, as I hear myself talking, I haven't written a poem for you in a long time. And she used to wake up to poems, right? I'll start doing that again. So go back to day one. Like, day one relationship. Day one treat your woman. Day one treat your man. Day one respect your spouse, right? if you go back to day one, like remember when you were like in love, when you were smitten, let's use that word. Like you would get 2 hours of sleep, cool, right? I got a girl, or I got a man, I got somebody new, it was fresh, right? I think that like that's just so important.
Stop trying to be the cool guy. And this is more, in my experience, what I've heard from a younger guy, but stop trying to be the cool guy. Don't be afraid to say I write my wife or I write my girlfriend poems. Like don't be afraid to say that. I feel like a lot of guys do put on too tough of an exterior just because they don't want their boys to judge them, or their boys to think that they're soft. Like, so what?
Yeah. And I didn't recognize I did this, but I was in a group of guys talking the other day. Yesterday, actually. We were at a pool party at the W, and we were talking. In my phone, it says "My Love," and it's a picture of her that pops up when she calls. In the middle of their conversation with me, my phone rang. It's my wife. I did this, answered the phone, and when I came back, they're like, "Bro, I need to start doing that for my wife. Like, I respect the fact that you have my love in your phone, and you stopped this conversation, and we were talking money, but you stopped the conversation and you went to your wife." So it's those little things so it's integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's around. She wasn't around, but how many times have we felt that, our spouse calls, and because we're doing something, important or not, we don't answer the call? And I think it's those little things that you do in the dark, not the dark, but the things you do when they're not around.
And when either one of us picks up, it's not hey, or it's nothing abrupt, or even a feeling like you're bothering me. It's hey, love,
right?
Or hey, gorgeous. I don't say it to anybody says it to me.
You can. I'm just saying, you can call me gorgeous. Try it.
Hey, gorgeous.
There we go. So it's really, I do call you love, and you call me love. Is that what? Okay.
You don't know.
I do know. It just I don't know, like. I'd have to think about it. I'm so accustomed to it. Like, I just have to think about it. But you never call me by my name. No. Yeah, that's weird. It would be weird if you called me by my name. Yeah, that is weird. And you know what? We're just open to a different thing. My man, Chris Coda, check us out. Executive Social. That's not what this is for, but me and my man doing our thing, and we love it. And she's comfortable. What I love about her, so this is another thing. She makes other women comfortable around us, like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to describe. I've just seen it.
A lot of women, what we do to each other, especially strong women. Actually, it's funny, Colleen just
Colleen just came on.
We met her and her husband at the lake. They were kayaking. We were on the boat.
We kidnapped them on the boat,
and they literally paddled past us. We're like, hey, you guys want to get on the boat with us, try some wake surfing? And they were game. And she's a strong woman, successful, and there was no, it was not competitive.
No
it wasn't catty.
Yeah.
It wasn't, scoping each other out. It was just genuine, hey, that's cool that you just jumped on a boat with two random people you don't know. We hung out for the day. It was cool. And a lot of times, unfortunately, especially with successful women, none that I met this weekend, but with successful women, it's a competition, and it shouldn't be. It's cheesy as it sounds. We do need to lift each other up. I'm not gonna go to the whole women's empowerment because I kind of agree with that, but just lift each other up, and that's it.
And you know what I think is important? Not even I think. This is hands down important. When you're out with a woman, when you're out with your woman, you don't have to look at other women. You're not going to get with them. They don't want you. They don't even acknowledge you. To me, eye contact is huge. So when we're out and say an attractive woman does walk by, what's the point of me looking at her? There's really no point.
Yeah,
go ahead.
But I'm comfortable enough with him that I can say she's attractive, or even I like her shoes, I like her dress. Don't lie.
So I'll let her talk, but I don't really do a lot of looking.
No, he doesn't look. He'll just say, okay.
I'm like, all right.
But even if he did look, I know he's not gonna stare. He'll look at shoes. Oh yeah, I like those shoes too. We should find you some. And normally he's on his phone Googling where we can find him anyway.
Yeah, so it's that intimacy. So intimacy from a standpoint of her and I making eye contact. When we go out to eat, I'll normally, we'll sit next to each other, right?
So funny story about, no, don't even look.
Oh,
It
sorry.
doesn't do anything to
Okay.
you. So last summer I decided to go blonde and got my hair done, and then we decided to meet at the Billmore. We were going to go to lunch or something. So he's walking from across the street, and I'm coming from this way, staring at him, and he's looking everywhere for me, looking at me.
Yeah, because she texted me and told me, like, she's coming out the door. She's going to be here.
So he's scanning, and I'm just staring at him, waiting for him to see me. He looks, doesn't lock eyes with me, but sees me and keeps scanning.
She's literally like 10 feet in front of me.
And so I didn't know whether to be offended that he didn't look because he wasn't
blonde.
like
Attracted to somebody that I didn't know was you.
Like happy, like he didn't realize it was me. He just kept looking for me.
And so, like, and the moral of that portion of the story is the fact that here comes this fit, blonde, is it endowed?
Yes.
Endowed woman walking towards me, like, dressed to the nines, and I'm just looking for my wife. I'm looking, and as a threat assessment, I looked, no threat, so I keep moving. And, like, to me, that's integrity. Like, I'm not looking for other women. I'm looking for my wife, but I forgot that she dyed her hair. It just kind of threw me off. And when I saw her, I was like, oh, hey, whoa, shoot, you are fine. Like, it's just, like, I don't know. Like, that works. To me, it's integrity. And really in a relationship, in anything that you do, is doing what's right when nobody's around. And maybe that was inbred. That was not inbred. Nope.
No,
maybe that was bred in. Maybe I learned it. We'll just go, like, it's late. My parents were veterans. I'm a veteran. And it's just kind of how we operate. What else was I going to say?
Sorry.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. What do you... So what's next for Dom and Sofia? What do you think? Bed, yes, great. Very near future. It was fun. I enjoyed this. I hope my wife enjoyed this. She's worked all day long, as have I.
Took a little nudging.
It did take a little nudging, but she did it, and she's doing her thing. I adding value, and if we can help one couple, great. If we can help one person before they make that leap, great. My book did just launch.
Yes.
I had to plug that. My book just launched. My book launched Friday night. By Sunday, I had an Amazon bestseller. So you go to Amazon and type in Dom Faussette. My book's there. It's a Kindle. It's 99 cents. Hard copy comes out in a couple weeks. But support the cause. It's 99 cents. It's a good book. It's not the good book, but it's a good book.
Yes.
It's my first one, and I can say now that I'm proud of it. Like, it's an accomplishment. I barely graduated high school, so for the fact I got a book, right, and I'm doing what I'm doing, just call it what it is. It's an accomplishment. So thank you, love. Thank you. Couldn't have done it without you, honestly. And I'm not just saying that because we're on live, but like what you see here is what you'll see if you ever see us in person. And if anybody's on that has seen us in person, they can vouch for that. However we are here is how we are in every environment and atmosphere that we are in. And collectively, our goal is just to inspire other couples. Our motorcycle, our license plates. My bike says power, yours says?
Couple.
So it's power couple. And we don't mean that in any egotistical sense. We just mean it from a standpoint of this is what we do, we're connected, and we make this thing happen. So whatever your power couple, whatever your power couple thing is, be a power couple about it. Like when we ride, we don't ride or die. Like that's not how we get down because it's different. It sounds cool when you don't have a motorcycle, but when you actually ride, I don't want to ride or die shit. Like I want to ride and live. So I can vouch. Thanks, Judy.
Hey,
she said she can vouch for us. But I love my wife because I loved me first. She loves me because she loved her first, and collectively we just enjoy life and do our thing. So we will definitely do this again. I think it's a value add. Next time I think we'll have better content.
Thank you for the questions.
Definitely
thank you for tuning in.
Totally. We're not going to have content. We're just going to keep it real. And I think that's the best way to go about that. So you guys have a wonderful evening. We love you. Jesus loves you. Sophia loves you. So
Yes.
you love them.
Yes, I love you all.
She's like, I can't. I just say it to you. I can't say it to the audience. I love.
Okay.
Okay, no more.
No more.
She hates when I tease her. That's what she hates when I tease her because I go into character.
No, teasing and mocking are two different things.
Okay, she hates it when I mock her. I don't know why we do that. Like, I do that. Whatever. I'm sorry. I like nuts. You guys have a good one. I'll talk to you guys soon.